Hey everyone, this is Andrew, and in this video I'm going to show you some of the best Black Friday music software deals that I'm aware of. So first of all, over at Genera Studios, I have started a blog post of sorts where I'm just going to be listing all of the Black Friday and holiday, Christmas to New Year's sales that go on for music software as the dates approach. So right now I have the content of this video up there with some kind of proofs, if you will, for some of the companies that haven't actually listed their sales yet. So I'll just dive right in. The first company that does huge sales every year is Waves. Now, if you don't know Waves, they're pretty much one of the world's best plugin companies. They have an absolute insane amount of products, and I'm lucky enough to be able to own almost all of them. Like, I own this one, I own this one, I own this one, and I own this one. So that's just a random sampling. I also own this package here. So, I own almost every Waves plugin. And if you look at some of the regular prices, $200, $800, I don't have that much money. But Waves has kind of an interesting pricing model where they set these insanely high retail prices, but they're kind of perpetually in sale all year. And for them, Black Friday is no exception. It's usually their biggest sale of the year. So I've been doing this for a couple of years, and that's how I've acquired, essentially every Waves plugin. So if you're looking for more plugins, I'd highly recommend going to Waves and stocking up. You just go there, and whatever you think you might want at some point in the next year, just buy it now. They do sales throughout the year as well, but the best sales are here. So if you're going to buy it later, might as well get it now. At least that's kind of my attitude. So, some products are like up to 90% off. Other ones are like 50+% off. And also, after you start adding things to your cart, you start getting these other extra perks as you buy more and more plugins. So Waves every year, without a doubt, always doing huge sales for Black Friday. So the next big player in town is Native Instruments. Every year, without fail, they also do a huge sale. Now, normally their products are on sale quite a bit through their complete bundle. I believe it's like 80% off for their complete bundle versus buying all the products separately. But let's say you have complete, maybe you don't have the complete Ultimate Collector's Edition. You just have like complete Ultimate or something, or just complete. You have some voids in your products. Maybe you don't want all of them, and that's why you didn't get it. So right now they're doing a 50% off sale for the next 12 days, which I think brings it to like December 2nd. So for some reason you only want, Kontakt 6, it's 50% off. These prices are reflected, from, since I already own it, that'd be the update cost. But so these pricings are because I'm logged in. But anyways, if you want like Electric Sunburst, $50 instead of $100. If you only want Massive, it's $75 instead of $150. So it's a great sale. Another great option is that they have these expansions. So, if you wanted a couple of these, you might spend a couple $100 just getting them. But now they're cut in half. So if you like Native Instrument products or you don't have any, this might be a great opportunity to get into it. However, I would recommend that if you're going to go in and start buying a bunch of their instruments and sample libraries like Electric Sunburst and Massive and Guitar Rig, first I would look at their complete bundle, because that's not included in the sale, but it's already like so heavily discounted. Like I have this one, of course, because I can't live without having the best. But if you look in something like regular Complete 12, which is where I started back when I got into the complete ecosystem, it only has 10 expansions, which is still a lot. And it comes with, specific listings of a combination of products. And it's like 85% discounted. So first check this, see if you're interested in that. And then whatever else is not included in whatever version of Complete you're going to get or you're going to get later, buy those extra parts now. But make sure it's not going to be in a bundle that you might just buy eventually, because then you're just doubling up and wasting money. So the next sale that I'm very excited about is UVI. They haven't announced anything yet, but I did some research, and I found that for the last 3 years, every Thanksgiving for the last 3 years, they have done a 30% off sale. So I'm hoping for that because I really want to get Falcon, which is an incredible, 15 oscillator hybrid synthesizer with a bunch of effects, scripting, and you can make custom instruments with it. It's already only $350, but 30% off will bring that down to like $200 or something. So I'm very excited for that because they've done the sale for the last 3 years. You would think that they're going to do it again, and I'm sure they do because it's probably a huge moneymaker for them. I would imagine every year they probably sell the most amount of products in this time. I also am interested in Vintage Vault. That one's an expensive item, so 30% off would be very significant. Some of these other ones look pretty cool, like the World bundle. Actually, these are only synths. If you go into World, they have this crazy thing with 320 instruments in it. So, I'm looking at some of those, but either way, I'm definitely getting Falcon. So if you have any interest in UVI's products, I would highly recommend checking them out on Thanksgiving, this Thursday, just to see if, the product you want is on sale. I'm assuming it's going to be almost all their products 30% off, but I guess we'll see. So the next big one I'm excited about is Heavyocity. They've actually already started their Thanksgiving sale. A lot of the products on it are 50% off. Now, unfortunately, or I guess not really unfortunately, but I already own most of their products. I bought Forzo and Novo when they were on their bundle sale, and I think I actually paid less than this combined. I think I might have paid $350 or $400 for both of them. I kind of forget because it was a couple months ago. But then also for Gravity, I bought, I believe, full price, which I'm a little sad about because it's 50% off. But at the end of the day, you can't win on every sale. So what I'm excited for that I'm probably going to get is Vocalize or Vocalise 2. I'm thinking about scoring guitars because they're 50% off. So Vocalise in particular, I almost bought when I got Gravity, but I was like, I can wait on that. I can wait for some stuff. I only have so much money, so I can't buy all these things I say that I want. But this one is one that I really want. If I had unlimited money, I'd also probably be getting Aeon Collection. I don't have that. These Ensemble collections look cool and they're pretty cheap. Natural Forces, but I'm saving my money for, I think, the UVI products. But in particular, if you don't have any of Heavyocity's instruments, Gravity is kind of like a huge cinematic explosion library. It also has a bunch of ambient pad and soundscape effects. And then Forzo is kind of like a brass library with a kind of a hybrid. It's a realistic library in one end, but it's also a hybrid kind of cinematic thing going for it. Same with Novo. It's a really good string library, but it also kind of has this hybrid cinematic thing going with it. And what came with me in a complete bundle back in the day was Damage. I think it's still included. I'm not 100% sure, but it came with Damage, Evolve, and all the different versions of Evolve. So if you don't have complete or you don't have these for some reason, I checked these out. Damage make these, it's like epic industrial kind of percussion grooves, and also you can break it down by individual hits, but the main patches are kind of like loop-based, tempo synced patterns. It's very cool. I recommend you check it out whether you're going to buy it or not. Now the next one is Spitfire Audio. So I haven't actually known of them since Black Friday. I only heard of them within the last 10, 11 months or something. So I've never known about them through a Black Friday sale. But I did some research, and it sounds like in the past they've run sales 25% off products. I know they're excluding some from their Black Friday sale that just came out, like Sound Dust Volume 2, Eric Whitacre Choir, and I think there was something else before that. Oh, ED&A Earth. And I forget if Studio Strings was also excluded. But, you can look at their products list, and they have an insane amount of very realistic orchestral libraries, and also kind of crazy electronic libraries, and just ambient libraries, I guess. So if you're into that kind of stuff, Spitfire Audio is one of the best sample companies in the world. The best time to buy the products, I think, is actually right when they launch. They do a pretty big sale. Or if you're buying one of their collections, because I think they're 30% off in the collections, or up to 35% off. So if you don't want a collection, Black Friday sale is probably your best bet, because you can't go back in time and buy them at their launch prices. So next is Soniccouture. I believe I'm saying their name right. I bought their Native Instruments bundle when they did it a couple months ago, and I got 80% of what's on this list, which was very nice because it was a huge sale. It was a very good price. But in the past, they've done sales up to 60% off, I guess, for various products. Also, it seems like at one point in the past, they just gave 20% coupons to existing customers, and that was all they ran for a sale. So either way, I would make sure to check them out, because there's a good chance they're running some kind of sale for Black Friday. Hopefully it's that crazy, 60% off some libraries, but maybe, we'll get lucky and and they'll do something crazy or a big bundle or something. So iZotope is actually running a sale right now for an early access Black Friday. I'm assuming that the prices won't get better than this because they're already pretty nuts. But I own, again, most of iZotope's products. In terms of their main ones that I have, I think, Neutron Advanced, which is a more advanced version of Neutron. I forget what it includes extra, but I think this was it. This is what I bought. It was on sale when I got it. I don't think it was this cheap. I think it was like 30% off, but this is from memory. Ozone is kind of like a mixing and mastering powerhouse, and all the plugins kind of integrate and know about each other, so you can control one plugin from another. In Neutron, sorry, not Ozone. Ozone's a mixing mastering one. Neutron's kind of like a mixing kind of, I almost can't describe it, but pretty much the whole bundle is all about mixing and mastering, making it as easy as possible, and putting kind of some AI control in the background if you want it, to make your life easier. But it still has a lot of power if you want to do everything by hand. Now, the other thing that I have from them is the Creative Suite, I think, which has Vocal Synth 2, which is fantastic. Vocal synthesizer, as you imagine, kind of like a vocoder. Iris 2, which is a unique kind of sample instrument. Trash 2, a distortion plugin. Then there's these other ones that I haven't actually played around with too much, but I think one of these is like a drum one. This is like some kind of stutter effect. This is a delay, and this is some kind of like envelope following filter thing. So they're cool, but the perks of this one, I think the most are these three, in my opinion. So if you want them, they're 50% off right now. I don't know how long the sale's running for. If you want these two, they're like almost 90% off. And I'd recommend, if you're into mixing and mastering, this 50% off for 08 and 2 is an incredible price. And I would grab that if you have any interest in getting it in the next year, because I doubt it'll be this cheap in the next year. So another sale that I became aware of was SoundIron. SoundIron releases an insane amount of Kontakt libraries. Like, look at all these things. If you've never heard of them, I've only heard of them briefly. Like, I saw this crop up on Kontakt Hub and this. But they just have an insane amount of Kontakt libraries. Look, there's 3 pages of these things. So, they're running a pretty nice sale right now where it's up to 40% off, 30% off every single player library, every 40% off non-player libraries. And, I don't have any of their products, but there's a couple that I wanted. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get them, just because there's other things I want. But in terms of what I've actually listened to, this Elysium harp and emotional piano look very good. They also have a library called Sick. I don't know where that is on this list, but that kind of looked cool. So, I'd go in here, I'd check them out and see if you're interested in any, because, just like the other ones, Black Friday is the best time to get this stuff. And lastly, this one's kind of a generic one. ADSR, they're not running a sale currently, but from previous experience, usually the individual vendors on this site, each one of these listings is an individual company. And one example of that, if I go to labels and I go to somewhere in here, there we go, Genera Studios, that's me. If that loads, I have products on ADSR as well, in addition to my website. But for example, I could go in and I could tell ADSR to list my prices at whatever I want. So, you got to assume that companies know Black Friday is the hot time to just push as many units as possible. So discounting them is a good business decision, because, people want to spend their money around this time. And if you make the price good enough, people will just buy it. Another one that is big is Kontakt Hub. And I haven't seen like store-wide sales, but again, this is an individual company kind of thing. I'm actually running one of my products at its launch sale. I'm extending it all the way to the end of the year. This is like 30% off. This ends up being $20 instead of $30. So this is my product on here that I'm running a sale on. So you got to assume that every other company in the world is going to want to push products on Black Friday. So, generic plug for myself, and also for all these different websites. People are going to be doing it. And lastly, as a final shameless self-plug, I haven't actually announced my sales yet for Black Friday. But right now, GS 2018, my analog synth Kontakt library, is on sale on Genera Studios in addition to those other sources. But I'm also going to be running sales on, a good portion of my libraries. So yeah, check that out. I'll be making announcements as it gets closer to the day. But in conclusion, it's Black Friday. It's a great time to buy stuff because the best prices you're going to get all year. I always stock up heavily, and if you just think about it as a future investment, that's what I did when I bought all these Waves bundles. You just got to think, if I'm going to want this later, and I might have to spend triple the price later, I might as well just buy it now. On the other hand, don't buy stuff you're not going to use. I've done that too. I've gone through and I've just bought random plugins because they were a great price. I'm like, oh my God, $29 versus $2.99. That's 90% off. Don't do that unless you want it. Because if you buy too much stuff at once, you'll end up using some of it and the rest will just collect dust, metaphorical dust on your computer. And you just wasted your money. So don't let the sales tempt you too much. If you don't need it, don't buy it. But on the other hand, if you're going to get it eventually, just get it now. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment on any sales I missed, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.